Howdy, my name is Nonat, and as you can see, I am in a totally different place. That's why I've been quiet for a little while. I am finally done moving for the third time in 2 years. But I'm not making this video just to tell you that I moved. No, you clicked on this video because of what the title says. With War of Immortals coming out in less than a month, we have officially heard what Mythic means in Pathfinder 2nd edition. Paizo just posted on their blog. There will be a link in the description to that blog post explaining what Mythic means in this system. In Pathfinder 1st edition, it worked completely differently, and we have heard that it's not going to be the same in PF2. So I've not read any of this blog post. As usual, I'm going into these posts blind because I love sharing my first reactions and experiences with you guys, so let's not waste any more time, except for the time it takes to thank all of the members of the Nonat One's Patreon page. I appreciate all of you so dang much for letting me do what I do, especially in times like this, where I'll go a week without posting content because of life shenanigans, but you still donate each month and help keep me afloat. So thank you all sincerely so much. Without the patrons, there would be no channel. Sincerely, you mean the world to me. So let's go ahead and hop right into this. What is Mythic? For those of you who played Pathfinder 1st Edition or Owlcat's CRPG conversion of the Wrath of the Righteous adventure path, you might have an idea. In those games, Mythic was an extra layer of power and resource that sat on top of your normal character, elevating and enhancing them to incredible levels of power via mythic paths, which were not entirely dissimilar to Pathfinder 2nd Edition's archetypes. Yeah, that's actually a really good comparison, in that mythic powers were you were never like a mythic fighter or a mythic wizard. No, you took like mythic paths of whatever they were, like trickery or aeons or whatever. I never really got to play them too much. I never got super far into Owlcat. I know that they were wild. I'll put some examples on screen right now of some of those mythic powers. Some of them were like multiple times per day, turn a nat 1 into a nat 20, I'm pretty sure. And even Paizo says here, this is assuming you use the free archetype variant and all the archetypes were super juiced with options that kick the ceiling off the base game. I'm already really curious if that means that this is going to kick the ceiling off of PF2, or if they're going to avoid that. Before we go any further, I do want to say, I hope Mythic breaks the game. This might be a very unpopular opinion. I don't know. I have no idea what the greater PF2 community at large is looking for, but I personally hope the Mythic rules break the balance. Balance is cool, balance is great, but we have established a balance in the base game. If people want a very balanced experience, they can play with Player Core 1 and 2. I think Mythic should totally throw the game out of whack. Maybe it'll make it harder to balance around, but it kind of makes sense that balancing around characters with deific powers would be difficult no matter what. Let's proceed. For War of Immortals, we went back to the roots of all the inspirations that went into the previous iterations of Mythic rules and reimagined them from the ground up as a unique storytelling tool to enhance the narrative abilities of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Mythic adventurers take their inspirations from legends, folktales, and other storytelling traditions around the world. These tales use wordplay and rarefied prose to convey moral lessons and tell stories that often defy logic. Mythic heroes and villains, even at lower levels of play, possess fantastical powers that are unbound by physics. Alright, I'm already getting excited now, let's go. And their ability to impact the narrative of the game world is often much more profound than is typical for a PC or an NPC. To tell these stories, we use 5 essential elements: mythic points, mythic proficiency, callings, mythic feats, and mythic destinies. Okay? When you first gain mythic power, this is expressed by your mythic calling. I'm going to guess that this is sort of your mythic path like you would take in the original iteration. Your calling gives you a way to spend and regain mythic points, which I'm guessing are going to function pretty similar to focus points if I had to imagine, makes you exceptionally hard to kill, presents you with a set of edicts and anathemas related to your purpose or mythic power. That's fine, I guess. Again, they're aiming for the narrative storytelling aspect, so adding restrictions to your mythic power, I suppose, makes sense. And gives you the special Rewrite Fate ability, which allows you to use a mythic point to reroll a skill check or a saving throw at mythic proficiency. Okay, so I'm guessing what that means, because sorry if this annoys some of you, but this is how I love to do these videos, is I like to theorize as I'm reading through. It sounds like Mythic points are going to be a new type of hero point specific for Mythic level play that can only be used to reroll skill checks and saving throws, but at a higher proficiency. I wonder if Mythic proficiency is just going to be plus 10. Because, you know, we have Trained plus 2, Expert plus 4, Master plus 6, Legendary plus 8. I wonder if Mythic is going to be plus 10. And even at like a low level, if you're level 1 and you fail a saving throw, but you have 1 Mythic point per day, you can spend that Mythic point to re-roll with plus 10 instead of plus 2. Mythic proficiency is a proficiency tier beyond Legendary, where Legendary proficiency gives you plus 8, Mythic proficiency gives you plus 10. I called it. Oh, I called it. That makes me so happy. This is why I do the theorize. This is why I do the predictions before I read ahead, because it makes me feel like I'm in the developer's brains, and I love it. You might be able to use your Mythic proficiency in specific ways as early as first level, allowing you to overcome challenges that would normally be far beyond a character of your level. I noticed specifically, and I don't know how I feel about this, it already says you can only use them on skill checks or saving throws, not attack rolls. Maybe this will encourage people to use like athletics more, but I definitely know people are going to be sad if they can't re-roll their attack roll with a massive bonus. Again, maybe it would completely destroy the balance of combat because it would basically ensure a hit and get like a 50% critical hit chance, but depending on how limited Mythic points are, that would be kind of fun. Mythic feats give you new ways to utilize your Mythic points. Many of these expand the types of checks or rolls you can make at Mythic proficiency. Others, like the Divert Destiny Mythic feat presented below, allow you to seize control of the narrative and dictate how your story unfolds. So to go off that first part, I'm guessing that means there's going to be a feat, maybe, that allows you to use Mythic points on attack roll. So it's not a universally available thing, but you can spend one of your few Mythic feats on the ability to use attack rolls at Mythic proficiency. Interestingly, that would actually be least useful on a fighter. Still useful nonetheless, but because the fighter already is at a flat plus 2 higher, you know, they're at plus 4 at level 1 where everyone else is at plus 2 to attack rolls, anybody using the Mythic attack roll proficiency would actually have the same bonus, and therefore it would be more useful on something like a Barbarian, who would keep all of their bonus damage, but would get 8 more bonus to their attack roll rather than fighters only getting 6 more. This also means that unless there are feats to improve Mythic proficiency, it gets less more useful. It'll always be useful, but it gets less more useful as you grow in level. You know, if you are Legendary proficiency, if you're a level 15 fighter with plus 8 proficiency in your weapon, then using a Mythic point only gives you another plus 2. So this Divert Destiny feat, it's a free action at level 6. If an attack or effect would reduce you to 0 hit points or kill you outright, you defy the fate before you, calling on wells of Mythic vitality to sustain your life and allow you to persevere. You spend 1 Mythic point and survive the triggering attack or effect. You lose your wounded or dying condition entirely, do not increase doomed, and are conscious with a number of hit points equal to 10 plus your level. That's pretty cool. Alright, so this is a super Mythic whatever it's called, Orc Ferocity, that anyone can take, I assume. It doesn't have a requirement on it. Very cool. I could see, even if a campaign does not use Mythic rules, this is a cool option to have. Like, if you're not going to use the Mythic rules, give everybody, once per in-game week, you can activate this. That would be kind of sick. The final element of the new Mythic rules, Mythic Destinies, gives you even more fantastic abilities and helps enshrine your character with an eternal place in the game world. Characters inclined toward cruelty or entropy might gain the Apocalypse Rider Mythic Destiny and spread war or famine across the world. Okay, so this is your Mythic path. This is compared to all the paths you used to pick in 1st edition and Wrath of the Righteous, the video game. That's what this is. Benevolent characters might instead become an ascended celestial, joining the heavenly ranks as an angel or a Zada to fight evil for all time. Characters with stronger ties to the mortal world might become prophesized monarchs or eternal legends, mighty leaders who are constantly reborn when the world needs them most. A rare few might even seek to complete the mythic destiny of a godling, joining the ranks of ascended deities like Irori and Iomade. Okay, interesting. So not all mythic paths, in fact only one mythic path, is going to involve becoming a god, and even that makes you a godling. You know, you are a god to be, you have the ability to ascend in the future, but all the other paths are just going to make you a super powerful, important individual. And that is all the information we're getting right now. Obviously, they're not going to tell us exactly how everything works, but that is what is part of the fun of these blog drops, is you just get to just have a taste of what's to come and start to hypothesize. I can definitely see that we're going to get a lot of familiar feats, but better. You know, like we just saw with Divert Destiny, it's Orc Ferocity, but better. I really hope we see a lot of different class-specific feats. I think they did confirm we are getting some class-specific Mythic feats. I don't know how many. I don't know how big the Mythic section is going to be. You know, is it going to be 10 pages? Is it going to be 50 pages? I have no idea. All I know is that it is going to be an incredibly deep and customizable system, it sounds like, with a balance between using Mythic points to access your Mythic proficiency or using your Mythic points to access Mythic abilities. And I suppose that's a decent way to balance it. It sounds like they are trying to keep the game very balanced in that even though you have all of these abilities and powers and points, they're going to be limited, like spell slots, like focus points. What I'm curious about that they didn't tell us here is how often you get them back. Is it once per day? Is it a short rest, like a focus point, like a 10-minute thing? Is it once per hour? I'm really curious. How many do you get at one time? Can you only have one Mythic point? Is it like focus spells where you get more focus points as you level up and take more appropriate feats? I'm really curious, and Mythic system is probably going to be the first thing I make a video on when I get access to War of Immortals. But what do y'all think? I want to hear your theories, your hypotheses in the comments below, how you think Paizo is going to handle Mythic Pathfinder 2e. It's super exciting. Thank you for being patient with me with all the new videos, or with no videos coming out in the past week. I have still been streaming. Right now I'm streaming Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, all at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you would like to come over, today's actually Saturday, so like, if it's 6 p.m. PST and you're watching this video, I'm just saying, like, I'm live right now playing Monster Hunter. It's been a really good time. You just want to come over and hang out. But more videos are coming. I plan to have at least 2 videos out this coming week regarding a certain class guide and a certain item-based tier list that I should have made years ago. So, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video so you don't miss when those videos go live. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, I need to put things on the wall to make this a more interesting backdrop.